Well, I'm CARYS. Hi. Thanks for being here. I'm a singer-songwriter and I'm an actor from Toronto, Ontario.
And I'm Amber. I am an illustrator and I live and work in New York City. But it's so nice to chat and talk about our work. I'm super excited.
Yeah, me too. Well, let's start with this beautiful piece that you created for, inspired by When a Girl. I'd love to know what your process was when creating it and what inspired it.
So when I listened to When a Girl, I really loved all of the lyrics and they just all really resonated with me, and the emotion behind it when you were singing it too is just like the struggle of being a woman and trying to be viewed as equal and accepted as equal in our society. That's something that resonates with me in my work as a whole, but in particular for this piece.
And you can see that too in the image. Like right when I saw it, it reminded me of kind of like my prep walk before I go into somewhere where I'm intimidated to go, or even like any kind of business meeting. It feels like you're like trying to fill yourself up with these colors. Yeah. Like that's how I saw it. There's just been this recurring thing of not being good enough as a woman, because you see all these things of like, yeah, be fit, but like not too strong, because that's not it, but also not too skinny. And then just, I think something that I discovered recently is just like why do you need to fit in to a box? I don't really need to belong out there if I belong to myself first. And I just like, just owning who you are despite the limitations that present itself, and hopefully that being enough to show people like, women aren't supposed to be this like one thing.
Ironic. That's amazing, because that's exactly what I do in all of my work. Is I try to make more relatable interpretations of womanhood, just because exactly like you said, like there's more than one way to be a woman. So that's really amazing. And me, living in New York and like being lazy, I'd always just go out and get coffee, and that was very much a ritual for me. So like to have that kind of be taken away and like replacing it with making my own coffee was nice. Like, is there anything small like that like you've started doing? Because I need tips. Basically, I need more things. As this goes on, I need more things to look forward to that are small throughout the day.
I noticed that like between 4 and 6 p.m., like I even mentioned those times specifically because that's the worst time of the day for me. I've noticed that I kind of let the energy of the day build up, trying to invest in other things when you're drained. I found that like that's something I've just learned from, I think just from this year being, like I said, living the same day over and over. It feels like very clear that if you're not full, if you can't fill yourself up, you can't actually invest wholeheartedly in what you're doing. I've made it a luxury for myself. It's like, you have to self-care. You have to actually rest.
And I love that too, because I feel like, at least before I was a freelance illustrator, I used to work full-time in advertising. And I feel like productivity and like tethering yourself to productivity and self-worth was definitely something that I just always did. So the idea of like taking a break and having that be productive in a way, or just like helpful, I too learned heavily this year. I'm like, oh, this is a good thing. This is not a bad thing.
What have you been working on lately?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of paintings at home. Like I just started, I don't know what, sometimes like I'll just like be inspired and I'll just make something even though I don't have time. So like I started doing, like, I'll show you on my computer, like just like some, these are going to be suns. I have a series called Smile for Me Sunshine, and they're just suns that aren't smiling. So kind of like leaning into repetitive ideas. How about you and your EP? That's so exciting.
Yeah, I had an EP that came out in October called To Anyone Like Me, and I wrote it now what feels like so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote it at the time, I thought I was just writing it kind of about love and love songs and breakup songs. I had a very like general idea of what it was, and I started noticing this year that it's really about like validation, needing approval from others, struggling to love yourself, like, and just kind of the themes of when you start to grow into yourself and the beginnings of starting to notice like, oh, this isn't really working for me, and this isn't really working for me, and maybe I should let this go, but like not really fully being able to own all of that and actually something about it. When I listen to the EP now, to me it feels like it's like a seesaw. I feel like that whole album, it has this energy of like, I know I want better for myself, and I know that I can, let go of these things and move forward and like grow from those experiences, but I need to let them go first.
Yep.
And my intention with music is to find kindred spirits who resonate with kind of my energy. And because that's with music, that's always been what's drawn me to artists and creators. Has always been when it's like what you said about getting messages about people being like, I see myself in your work. That's how, you know, when I see myself in other people's work, I see that as such a like validating and opening experience for myself. It makes me like want to own myself even more.
Like how, like what you make, like you're like I'm so used to talking in terms of visual arts, so like for music it's so different for me, but like the work that you put out there, like it was so nice to be able to like listen to it and be like, oh, it's not just me. That's nice to know, you know?
Really?
Yeah, 100%. That's why like whenever I make work, I listen to music, and I love your music, so it's always on repeat, so it definitely seeps out into my visual art, so thank you.
Don't take that lightly. Thank you so much. This was such a lovely conversation. Thanks for this. It's so helpful and validating.
Yes, it was. Yes, and hopefully one day we can meet IRL when it's safe, which is hopefully next year.
I mean, yeah. Oh my gosh. Crossing fingers.
Yes, but anyway, we'll have a safe holiday, and it was so nice meeting you.
Do happy holidays. Take care, and hopefully talk to you soon.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.